Hi everyone, this is audap. Let's check out Chrome Wolf running on Nintendo Switch. This is a Kemco published game. It's actually been a while since we've seen a Kemco published game. Okay, I think this is all fine. Take speed fast. We'll turn on the experience and CP. Since these are actually DLC, so these options here are DLC if you want to buy them. Not required to play the game though. You know, you can pay the $13.49 that it's available now for, and complete the game just fine. But if you're time constrained like me, then you'll just purchase some very inexpensive DLC to sort of make the game run along a little faster. Now, is this a 60 Hz Kemco or is it a 22 Hz Kemco? That's the question. Looks like we're all here. I'll start the briefing. I'm sure you're all aware that the rebel Unicornian army threatens the peace of the Lenoir Empire. There's been a report that says one faction of this rebel army has taken over Trekka village, just north of here. No doubt they are planning to attack Revel City using the village as their base of operation. Revel City is home to the Emperor and the Imperial Castle. We cannot allow these rebel scum to do as they please. We've been ordered to infiltrate Trekka village and crush the rebel army there. Our plan is to launch a surprise attack on the enemy. To do that, we'll use the Trent Tunnel up north. We should be able to sneak right up behind them and fill them with lead. We'll be splitting up in teams of 3. Each team will be given a tank. The Emperor has given them to us in order to protect you promising young soldiers. Don't even think about getting a scratch on these vehicles. Above all, I want each and every one of you to complete the mission without any casualties. That's it for the briefing. If you have any questions, I'll take them now. Sir. What is it, Corporal Abel Tory? I understand the mission objective, but the enemy has taken over Trekka village. What about the civilians? They may be caught up in the battle. There's nothing to worry about. It seems most of the villagers fled in fear of being pillaged by the rebels. Besides, it's a Unicornian village. The Empire doesn't care if there are any civilian casualties. Wait a minute. Unicornians are citizens of the Empire too. His Grace said so himself. Silence, Corporal. Don't forget that Unicornians are responsible for all of this. His Grace released them from slavery, and yet they have the nerve to rebel. Why do you take their side? If I may, Captain, not every Unicornian has turned on the Emperor just yet. I think Abel just wanted to say that we shouldn't get the innocents involved. Kruz is right, Captain. I will take down anyone that threatens the peace of the Empire. Well, I sure hope so, but the rebels are sly and cowards. They may pretend to be civilians to get close to you. If you let your guard down, some innocent Unicornians may just shoot you in the back. Trust no one. Yes, sir. Now, that's what I like to hear. Kruz, Abel, I look forward to seeing what you two can do. If there are no more questions, I will now hand out 3 emblems per team. You can use magic according to the attribute of these emblems by equipping them. Think carefully before putting them on. We'll rendezvous at the entrance of Trent Tunnel. Don't forget to get a tank from the storehouse. You're dismissed. Give me a break, Abel. I felt like I was on pins and needles when you spoke back to the captain. No kidding. I wouldn't be surprised if you were court-martialed for insubordinate behavior. I'm sorry, you two, but I had to confirm the civilian situation. What is it you always say? Only soldiers with guns should be able to should shoot and be shot? Yeah, soldiers like us put our lives on the line, but anyone else just becomes victims of the war. That leads to sadness and hatred, and those are the very things that fuel wars. But Cap said there are only enemies left in Trekka village. We should be able to go all out. Very funny, but that's not it. We are fighting fellow citizens of the Empire, you know. The rebels are fellow citizens, eh? If they cared about the Empire at all, they should just surrender. The war between the Empire and Hubert at our border is still going on. They're out of their minds for rebelling at a time like this. Well, I'm sure the Unicornian rebels have their reasons. Not everything is as clear as day. In any case, it's been 20 years since His Grace promised the Unicornians their freedom at the end of the Civil War. I'm sure they felt betrayed after believing they would finally be freed from their slave status. His Grace betrayed no one. Discrimination doesn't go away overnight. Blame the people that can't get used to change. They are solely responsible for prolonging this war with Hubert. Or Hubert. Right, Hubert? Yeah. All due to a misunderstanding and misdirecting their anger towards the Emperor. They were promised a steady income as long as the markets were stable, but the rebels just had to cause trouble. The Unicornians have been at it for over 20 years, and yet there was no sign of anything steady. I can't blame them. That's because Hubert has an unfair monopoly over elementite. We are in a war over this resource. If we acquire the rights to mine elementite, domestic affairs should stabilize, and they would get what they want. There's no proof of that. If the Empire wins against Hubert, there's no guarantee the Unicornians will be safe. The Imperialists have dominated all the rights in the past. Who would second-guess them now? Hey, punk, think about what you're saying. Do you dare doubt His Grace's words? Hello, I'm not the one doubting. I'm saying the rebelling Unicornians are. Nah. Calm down, you two. This always turns into a heated argument, and we don't have time for that now. Abel's right. If we keep wasting time arguing here, we'll miss the rendezvous time. Graham, you chose to fight for the Emperor. I'm sure you wouldn't want to take the walk of shame back home just because we were late. Of course not. There's no way I could face my father, a ranking officer, without accomplishing something spectacular on the battlefield. That's right, Graham. All you need to do is gain a few ranks and send Kruz to the front lines after that. Brilliant. I would never have to see his mug ever again. Say what you want. Before that, I'll send you two so far out you could practically kiss Hubert on the head. To do that, we have to work together here and now. Everyone must know we are the strongest team of them all. This will be our first campaign together. Kruz, are you sure you know how to use your skills? I mean, not really. To tell you the truth, I'm a bit nervous, so I kind of forgot. What a poor excuse for a soldier. Looks like we'll have to go over the basics again. First, we'll go over the parameters that indicate your basic skills from top down. Parameters can fluctuate in value. The first is HP, which represents your stamina. When this becomes 0, you will be KO'd and unable to do anything until revived. Next is SP, which are points you need to use magic and unique skills to each soldier class. Points will be used up according to skill costs, and you cannot use magic and skills when this becomes 0. The rifle gauge is to the right is your AP gauge. AP are points required to use weapon skills and increase as you fight more battles. Note that you cannot restore these points by resting at an inn, okay? Next, take a look at the left of the screen. These parameters are different from HP and so on. They deal with damage, speed, and other stats. ATK refers to your attack power. The higher it is, the more damage your physical attack deals. DF affects damage taken from physical attacks. The higher this is, the less damage you'll take. SPD affects your speed. The higher this is, the more turns you'll have in battle. MAG is magic power. The higher this is, the more damage you can use through magic. MDF is magic defense. The higher this is, the less damage you'll take from magic attacks. DX means dexterity. The higher this is, the more accurate and evasive you'll become. You see the icons and percentage displays below that. These show your resistances for each attribute. The weapon icon indicates physical resistance. The lower this value, the less damage you will take from physical attacks. Staff icon indicates magic resistance. The lower this value, the less damage you will take from magic attacks. There are resistances for fire, water, and lightning elements as well. Equip yourself according to the enemy's attacks. Last is military class. The class is your role as a soldier, basically your job. You see classes next to the resistances, right? This is a list of classes, and the gauge next to them represents how trained you are in each. There are ranks for each class, and your CP gauge will go up as you gain CP after each battle for your current class. Once the CP gauge maxes out, you will gain a rank and learn a new skill for that class. Parameters are also affected differently by each class. By the way, each class can only equip 2 certain weapons. Keep that in mind when you change classes. Most importantly, don't worry about losing a skill once you've learned it, even if you change classes. To wrap up, you can increase your elemental rank by equipping one of the emblems we just got. Remember that you boost elemental ranks with CP as well. Okay, I got it. Thanks for review session. We've covered all the basics, so let's get ourselves a tank. Tanks are kept in a building to the right of Mission HQ. Don't mess up, Kruz. I'm not a kid anymore, you know. Still can't believe those Unicornians would start a rebellion right in the middle of our war with Hubert. What? You want to know why we're fighting Hubert? Where have you been? Well, whatever. I got nothing better to do. Let me give you a brief history lesson. It all started with elementite. It's used as an energy source for various machines, and the consumption increases every year. The current empire was part of the former Lotus Kingdom, who owned the elementite mine. But when the kingdom disbanded, Hubert, at our border, unjustly claimed the mine for themselves. And so the empire and Hubert were at an impasse regarding mining rights, and we were at war again without a moment to spare after the Civil War. Sergeant Graham, it's good to see you and your team. Anything I can do for you? Actually, I was wondering if you could run through the details of the mission once more. I don't mind. Listen carefully. Your mission is to infiltrate Trekka village northeast of here and crush the rebel forces. You will use Trent Tunnel in the north in order to get into Trekka village undetected. His Grace is kind enough to lend us the newest tank models for this mission. You can get the ignition key for the tanks at the garage to the right of the Imperial Mission HQ here. All of us here wish you nothing but a safe return and a successful mission. Okay, this is like a 30 frames Chemco game. Every once in a while they'll make a 60 frame game or a 60 frame interpolation engine, or they'll use an engine to do the 60 frame interpolation. Most of the games in the Chemco catalog, as publishers, run at a pretty low frame rate. So generally anywhere from 14 to 22 frames a second. So you tend to see real choppy scrolling. Since a lot of these titles were made for very low spec phones. So unfortunately, we'll deal with just this 30 frames, which there has been worse scrolling in these Chemco games. So this is this is on the higher end of their scrolling frame rate. Sorry to keep you waiting, Pops. Ah, there are the brats. What schedule are you on? Everyone already left. Sorry we're late, Chief. Which one's our vehicle? This baby right here. She's a beaut, ain't she? I've never seen this type before. I don't suppose this is a new model. The Colonel's son sure knows his stuff. This state-of-the-art tank just rolled out the other day. The plating uses a new inclined design, maintaining the defense as previous models, but with major improvements to its weight and mobility. Very nice. Please tell us more about it later. So, can we get the tank key? None of you understand. Here, take it. And don't be too rough with her, alright? Got a tank? It's a tank. What do you mean, don't be too rough with her? You can use it outside of town, or select Confirm to get in the tank at any time. You can even stay in your tank when moving on the field. If you run into enemies while in the tank, you will battle without getting out first. Battling in tank means only the tank can execute commands. Makes sense since we'd be inside. So it'd be one against however many enemies we run into, right? Being outnumbered makes me feel a bit uneasy. Not to worry, tanks are powerful. Normal attacks won't affect them, and they can take out most enemies in a single hit. On the other hand, attacks use up energy. Tanks can't attack if they don't have enough energy. Energy is also used up for repairs and special equipment. It's pretty much the most important factor. The max amount of energy your tank has in battle will be shown as 100%. Energy used is also shown in percentiles. The energy required to fire your cannon is the base for any other commands. I see. So what do we do if we run out of energy? Just use the charge command. Doing so will enable you to recover some percentage of energy. Energy is also recovered slowly while moving. Another thing, tanks can't be healed with magic like humans. Inns have no effect on them either. To heal a tank, you have to repair them at part shops or use a repair kit. By the way, we won't be wiped out if our tank is destroyed. We'll get out and fight. However, you cannot repair a tank in battle once it's been destroyed. To avoid that from happening, keep upgrading the tank with better parts to reinforce it. At any rate, tanks can't gain experience and level up like we do. To upgrade a tank, you have to get new parts and change its equipment and setup. A tank's abilities rely solely on its parts. If you want to prioritize fighting with tanks, then you can't be stingy with your gold. Lastly, tanks sure are convenient, but you shouldn't rely on them too much. because defeating enemies while in your tank doesn't get you any CP. In other words, I'd miss the opportunity to level up my military class and magic attribute. This is a problem. Exactly. Humans should never rely on gadgets too much. There are more details in the help section of the menu. Give it a read when you've got the time. I'll take a look at it when I need to. I learn best from first-hand experience, so let's get in. Just do it. That was always your motto, Kruz. Ah, Abel, before I forget, I think you dropped a letter in storage. Indeed, I must have dropped it when I was helping with maintenance the other day. It looks very girly. Is it from your girlfriend? You sly dog. I wish. This is from my little sister. Ah, the one you keep talking about? She's studying element engineering, right? I've heard about her. Her grades are off the charts and has had offers from both universities and the Arms Development Division. Looks like we got a doctor of engineering in the making. Must make you proud being her older brother. Not necessarily. I always get compared to her and am always in her shadow. She's also quite stuck up and never listens to what I say. I don't know what to do with her. Oh, really? I've got no siblings, so I have no idea what it's like. I just wish I had a family that could pray for my safety. Anyway, you have a sister waiting for you to return to. Now put some back into it, Abel. I know. I won't kick the bucket before sending her a reply. Well, go on. Get out of here. Make sure you come back alive. If this tank was serviced by you, Pops, we got nothing to worry about. We'll come back in it with a few medals on our chests. There's a lot of talking in this game. Unfortunately, that means there's a lot of narrating for me in this game. You folks with the Imperial Army? My son's fighting in the army too. He's been dispatched on a mission to defeat Hubert. I'm sure he'll return safely with some medals of honor. Are you folks going on a mission? Nothing I can say, but good luck. You got an arms dealer? Welcome. What can I do for you? I've got 300 gold. Smelling salts. Spirit powder. Okay, well, I already own some stuff, thankfully. Is it all the same stuff? Oh, no, it's different stuff. Okay. There's already better stuff for some of the characters. The sniper and the scatter gun. This is a CWP, Chromal Point Shop. Okay. So this is all the, like, the room keys for the special rooms. The special locked doors that most of these games Kimco produces has. Hey bro, what's up? I'm in the middle of studying about elementite. I don't suppose you're interested in elementite too. Want to hear what I've learned? Yeah, sure. Sweet. So elementite appears to be petrified spirits from a long time ago. So magic from that time can be found in concentrated levels. We simply call that magic power. This was used as a catalyst to cast different types of magic to make life more convenient. In recent years, it's been used to power different types of machinery. This is known as elemental engineering. Any machine powered by elementite is said to have a near-endless power supply. However, they say elementite used as a power source has to be refined and can't be used for anything else after that. Elementite seems to be so valuable, it's a waste to alter it like that, don't you think? I mean, maybe? I don't know. You're in Revel City. It's known as the Imperial City because the Emperor can be found in the nearby castle. Are you in the Imperial Army? Thank you for always protecting the city. Okay, so we don't need to worry about an inn at this point. You soldiers look quite young. Do you know about the Lotus Kingdom before we became the Empire? The Lotus Kingdom was built by our imperialist ancestors who came to this continent. They fought and won against the native Unicornians and built a kingdom. The Unicornians became slaves and helped the Lotus Kingdom prosper. However, the world went through an industrial revolution 30 years ago, and Lotus was left behind, being a primarily farming nation. General Lenoir, feeling uneasy at the time, made a push for technological innovation in the kingdom. That caused some tension with the noblemen in the north who had invested heavily into the agricultural industry. Differences in opinion became clear, and there was a civil war between the north and south and the Lotus Kingdom. The war went back and forth until General Lenoir made a bold move. He freed the Unicornians. He recognized them as citizens of the south instead of slaves. As a result, the Unicornians fled from the north and turned the tides of the war, leading to the south's victory. General Lenoir decided to change the name of the Lotus Kingdom and built a new nation from the ground up. And now we have the Lenoir Empire. If you swore your allegiance to the Emperor, you should know this much. Okay, well, they got quite a backstory here. I suppose at least they're telling you a backstory. Could be like a From Software game where you're supposed to figure everything out by the glint in an item description, or, you know, like an object in the background of a postcard of a GIF that you found on the internet. This road's restricted. We got an anonymous tip that the rebel army set up a bomb up ahead. We can't let anyone through until we've confirmed it's safe. Just turn around and be on your way. I don't know, where am I going? Auto battle. Okay, yeah, the scrolling at 30 frames, I'm perfectly fine with this. I just didn't want it to be like the 18 frames that we find in so many of these games developed by Kemco, or games published by Kemco. I mean, Kemco has different developers working for them. Hey, Kruz, where are you going? We're in the middle of a mission. Stay on track. Our target is Trekka Village, which is just past the Trent Tunnel. The Rebel Army base is supposedly there. Trent Tunnel is north of the city. Let's hurry. Alright, calm down. Yeah, I don't think I've ever played a game by this developer that Kemco publishes. So I don't know if it's new, or they just haven't brought, or Kemco just hasn't brought over a title from them yet. I like it so far. It's nice to see like a different artwork style than Kemco's other developers. Oh, these are some small icons. Boy, you had to have a good eye to figure out where what is. We've got trouble, Captain. Our scouts have spotted the Imperial Army heading towards this village. They've even got tanks mobilized? What'll we do? At this rate, everyone will... First off, quit crying. We just started evacuating the citizens, so we need to stall for more time. We just have to stop the Imperial Army at all costs. Do you understand me, soldier? Roger that, Captain. Curse you, Empire. I can't believe they're using technology to jam magic transmissions. Ricard, I think I'll stay behind. The more soldiers we got, the better. That won't be necessary. Rather, you need to head to Major Bart's camp and request for reinforcements. But the enemy's got tanks coming this way. Come on, we've gotten an advantageous position. Do you really think we'll lose that easily? Now hurry and get on going. We could use the help sooner than later. Olga, we're counting on you. Fine, I understand, Ricard. I'll be back, so don't go dying on me. Of course not, Olga. How can I die before the bells ring on our big day? Captain, we confirmed the location of the troops. They're gathering near the Trent Tunnel entrance. I suppose that means they intend to use the tunnel. Unfortunately, they won't be surprising anyone today. Victory is within our sights. Gather up the remaining troops immediately. They can't use tanks in the tunnel, so we'll crush them with a surprise attack of our own. We won't let them lay a finger on our village. We finally made it to Trent Tunnel. If I recall, they used to mine elementite here a long time ago. You're right, but the mine dried up and has been abandoned since. It really serves no purpose anymore. Is it safe to go through here? You sure this place won't cave in or anything? Will it? Should be fine. It was only abandoned less than 10 years ago, so everything should still be sturdy. The real problem is we can't fit a tank in this confined area. There are certain dungeons, such as caves and strongholds, where tanks cannot be used to move or battle. Tanks can be embarked once you leave those dungeons. Something strange. It's almost rendezvous time, yet I don't see anyone else. Yeah, you don't suppose they just went on ahead with the operation, do you? No, they wouldn't break protocol. Do you think they ran into trouble? You guys are finally here. Consider yourself lucky. Captain, there you are. We were worried as we didn't see anyone else. What happened to everyone? Don't tell me they got lost or something. What are you talking about? The rebel army attacked us within the tunnel and most of us had to retreat. Our current formation with remaining forces is restraining the enemy. Roger on the situation, but how did this happen? Some fool was probably seen by the enemy and they predicted our route. So they set up an ambush. Not having our tanks in the tunnel really came to bite us. Well, our surprise attack failed. I suggest we pull back and use a different route. We can't do that. Taking a detour would allow the enemy to recoup back at the village. They could then use a different route to attack Revel City, and we wouldn't be able to stop them. You're telling us to fight them head on and make our way through the tunnel? This won't be fun. We'll need a diversion. Kruz, Abel, I'm assigning this vital role to you two. I think this mission should be a piece of cake for you. Now's your time to shine, boys. If I may, Captain, why wasn't my name mentioned? I'm in the same unit as these two. Graham, you stay behind. You're a shining example of a soldier that should be a model for others. And your father left you to me. There's no way I can put you in the face of danger. Pardon my rudeness, but I cannot comply with that order. I'm the team leader and I must lead these two. Please allow me to go. If I die, you can tell my father that I acted on my own. If that's what you want, be my guest, but don't blame me for whatever happens to you. Of course not, Captain. Thank you for understanding. All right then, I'm heading back to the main group. I command your team to head to the exit and cause confusion amongst the enemy. Once you break their formation, we'll attack the enemy and follow up. Don't mess up. He really does what he wants, doesn't he? Thanks to you, we really do get the chance to put our lives on the line. Graham, Kruz, I'm sorry. This is entirely my fault. Don't fret it, Abel. It's not your fault the captain put me on his blacklist. No kidding. You'd always find some excuse to skip training. Now karma's caught up to you. What's really scary is that he's as skilled as me despite his lack of training. Graham, you are a strange one. Why would you throw yourself in front of danger by coming with us? We're a team, that's all. Besides, somebody had to fulfill this mission and I wanted to be part of that. Also, my pride won't let others take over my duties due to family ties. You really are something else. If you were captain, we might be more motivated than the army. One day, just you wait. I don't want either of you dying on me until that day comes. Roger that. Well then, shall we? Boy, there is quite a bit of dialogue in this game. Quite a bit. Alright, hold on a minute. Okay. Yeah, it's a pretty high encounter rate, but I suppose this way you raise more levels. So by the time you get to, your destination, you would hopefully have been high enough levels to complete the whatever boss creature is at the end. I think that's the philosophy behind games like this, where they just have like a lot of random battles. Of course, it would be better just to decrease the number of random battles and increase the amount of experience and gold you get. But, c'est la vie. I think we can do that through DLC. Paid DLC, but still. Oh, okay, there's a way to go down there. Medkit. Magic compass. Looks like you can get up to 5 party members. That's kind of nice. I always like it when it's more than 3. A lot of modern RPGs, even to this day, only give you 3 party members. Which I always found to be super lame. Data. You know, with all the memory and hard drive space and CPU power, you'd figure RPGs could get beyond that 3 character on the screen limit. But so far, you know, it's a rarity when you see a game with a party with larger than 3 party members. It's the Imperial Army. Everyone take aim. Don't let them through. The Rebel Army is using this place as a choke point. If we hadn't come ahead, the rest of our forces would have fallen into the spider's web. We just saved many lives on our side. All that's left to do is report. The problem is how we get out of this situation. We can't just run and jump into their line of fire. We'd be shot in the back. It'd be ideal if our comrades heard the gunfire and came to back us up. Don't count on it. Not with the captain leading them. We're on our own here. We have no choice but to rush them. Get ready. Attack! How can this be? There's only 3 of them. They really had poor aim. Looks like we were more skilled than they were. Looks like the coast is clear. We're safe. Huh, you're all alive. You got my thanks for completing the mission, Graham. Not at all, sir. I'm glad to see you safe too, Captain. But I'm impressed. It only took the 3 of you to take care of that many enemy soldiers. Graham, your achievements will be reported to the higher ranks. Your father will be proud. We'll lead the attack on Trekka Village. Join us after you've taken time to recover. Thank you for the kind words, sir. Whew, lucky us. Looks like we can just relax and avoid going to Trekka Village. Excuse me, soldier? The captain said we are to join them after a short break. Are you serious? We've already done our part. Are you that trigger happy? It's not that I enjoy fighting. I just want to serve the Emperor with all I've got. Graham, you really are a model soldier. What was that? This voice. It's a rebel soldier. I can't believe there's one alive. Let's find him. It may be an enemy soldier, but he's still a fellow citizen. I just can't ignore this. This one's taken too many to the chest. There's no saving him. I see. Hang in there. Do you have any last words? Olga, I'm sorry. I can't keep our promise. Olga? A woman? You want to tell something to this Olga lady? Come on now, what is it? You are Imperial soldiers? How dare you? What have we done? The village. Why? We had no choice. If we let the rebel army run loose, it would be us suffering casualties. I'm sorry, but we must fight your comrades in Trekka Village. It seems you have a base there. Ridiculous. Trekka Village is no rebel army base. It's a quiet farming. The Empire is just after the genocide of unicornians. That's why we're being... Trekka Village isn't a rebel army base? That can't be. Go see for yourselves. See what's happening with your own 2 eyes. If you have a heart, please stop them. Our home, please. How absurd. Not a base, he says? Does that mean HQ was misinformed? Don't let the enemy play mind tricks on you. It's just a trick to confuse us. Let's go check for ourselves. If he's right, then we really have to stop them. Oh boy, this game... this game is going to give us some heartbreak, I see. I mean, that's why all these... I mean, Chemical publishes some really good games. They have some good developers who know how to tell a story. I mean, a lot of people ask why I like their games so much, because they're pretty primitive, right? I mean, they don't look like any modern games, or generally sound like modern games, although sometimes their soundtracks are really good, depending on the developer. But they always get the story and characters right. So that's why I kind of stick with them, even though, you know, I generally don't like games with a low-powered aesthetic. This is crazy. All I see is a sea of flames. That just means the resistance from the enemy was fierce and we had to resort to severe measures. That info from the enemy was false. We really wasted our energy rushing over here. No, look. Those two, they're all villagers. They're not in army uniforms or holding any weapons. So, I guess that guy was right? I guess this village really wasn't a rebel army base. This can't be. There's no other reason for the army to attack this village. No! Is that a villager? They're still survivors. We have to help them. Hey, hold on. The both of you. Don't act on your own. Yeah! No, please. I beg of you. You can't... You can do what you want with me. Just let my wife go. I'm afraid I can't do that. Orders are orders. Wait up, Captain. You boys sure recover quickly. I expect nothing less of Imperial soldiers. As you can see, the mission was a success. There are just a few more to clean up. Why don't you 3 split up and search for any remaining rebels? Don't let a single one escape. What are you saying? These are civilians, not rebel soldiers. Stop this. Stop the attack this instant. Stop the attack? What are you babbling about? Rather, how do you know these people aren't rebels? You have any proof? Proof? If you have eyes you can see, you have your proof. They have no army suits or guns. True. They are breaking Imperial law by not wearing army suits during battle. An offense punishable by death. That may be true, but we can't kill people that aren't holding guns. We have no reason to kill them. Oh, heavens, how ignorant can you get? They are rebels nonetheless. What would you have me do? What? Captain, what do you mean? This village has been caught for illegally mining elementite and selling it on the black market to fund the rebel army. As you know, elementite is an extremely rare mineral, and the trade market is very delicate. If this truth was exposed, it would escalate into an international incident. The Empire would suffer from international criticism. We can't leave any traces of evidence, so the villagers, to us, are the rebel army itself. So, you knew all of this, and the higher-ups in the Empire are all in on this? Trade? International criticism? Does the army kill innocent civilians at the whims of noblemen who only care about their pockets? I can't let this happen. I won't let you kill anyone else. I'll be sure to stop you. Wait a second. Abel. Oh, heavens. What a pain. Personal ideals really get in the way of national interest. You heard him. We have a traitor amongst us. I order you to shoot Corporal Abel Torrey on sight. Yes, sir. What? So, what will you two do? Will you kill the rebels, or will you die as traitors? But one question. Is this mission an official order from the Army? Yes, there's no mistake. I have the order right here. Take a look if you have any doubts. There's no mistaking it. It's the real thing. Then I apologize for doubting you, sir. I, Commander Graham, will fulfill my duty. Graham, wait. Are you serious? Of course I am. The Empire deemed this necessary and made the order. I don't do this for pleasure. Everything is for the Emperor. That is our duty as officers. There will be times you don't agree to what you're ordered to do. We are the Emperor's blade. Ugh. Honey, no. This is... Well done. You really are fit to lead the future of the Imperial Army. Graham, I'll leave the rest to you. See if Kruz is fit for the Imperial Army. Your turn, Kruz. Will you run like Abel did? Or will you... I'm a soldier. I'm an Imperial soldier. So I will... Yeah! Oh, jeez, he really did it. Oh my god, this game. Kruz, that's how it should be. You made the right choice as an Imperial soldier. Right choice? You're telling me what we did was right? Yes, we exist to serve the Empire. We are its strength. If every soldier acted on whims, what would happen to us? Kruz, this was our initiation. It was a test to see if we were fit to be Imperial soldiers. And the both of us passed brilliantly. We have been granted lives to serve the Empire and the Emperor. Now then, there may be other remnants. I'll search the northern area. You go south. No, I did nothing so noble. All I did was take another's life to save my own. I was just scared. I'm different from you. I'm not ready to give up my life. Someone's voice? Sounds like it came from this way. I should carry out my duty. Abel, is that you? The one I heard was you. Get a grip, Abel. It's me, Kruz. Can you hear me? Kruz, is that you? It's over. I couldn't stop them. I couldn't do anything. I desperately tried to stop them. No one would listen to me. I was useless. No, that's not true. You fought gallantly. Compared to you, I'm sorry. I can't hear you. I can't hear anymore. I think my time's near. I have a final request. Listen, Kruz. There are survivors. I hid them. Stop talking. Don't tell me. If you tell me, I'll have to perform my duties as an Imperial soldier. A small house in the south. You'll find children. Please help them. I'm sorry for getting you involved, but please help. You were stupid to the end. Why would you leave such an important task to such a weak fellow like me? You got it, Abel. I don't know how far I'll get, but I'll respect your last wishes. Ah, Imperial soldier, it's all over. Don't come near us. Don't kill us. Survivors. Abel, you were able to save this many. All of you, get ready to leave. You have to escape before the Imperial soldiers find you. You're helping us? That's right. My name's Kruz. I'm a friend of Abel, the Imperial soldier that led you here. He asked me to help you escape. We can make it if we go now. Wait, what happened to that Abel guy? That's right, we won't leave without him. He's dead. He was shot by other Imperial soldiers for being a traitor. He won't be coming. That's why we have to leave before getting caught, or else I'll end up the same as Abel. I don't want to die just yet, so please trust me. Work with me here. Okay. Come on, let's trust him. You gotta be kidding, right? If he's lying, what'll we do? Yeah, we'll definitely be killed, just like Mommy and Daddy. Don't worry, if he wanted to kill us, he would have already. Besides, his eyes, they're the same as Abel's. We'll be okay. Same as Abel's, huh? Thank you for believing me. What's your name? My name is Williot. I'm the oldest one here. Thank you for helping us, Kruz. Don't mention it. Let's get going, you guys. Let's get going, you guys. We are still alive. We can live as long as we don't give up. I can't believe we already killed one of the portraited characters. I mean, they actually gave him a portrait. That's so unlike other Kemco games. Everybody with a portrait usually lives unless they're an antagonist. We've gotten pretty far from the village. I think it'll be all right now? No, not yet. They're after every single person from Treka village. They probably have a list of names. If they notice the body count doesn't match the number of names, they'll search far and wide to find you. We won't be able to escape if that happens. But my legs are hurting. Please, can we rest for a bit? You rest, you die. That all right with you? But... Whoa. That was a loud sound that whizzed past my ear. Crap, they caught up with us. That's as far as you go, Unicornians. You almost slipped right through our fingers. Tisk, 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 Kruz. Don't make me laugh. You think these children's slow feet can outrun our trained army? Kruz, what should we do? I'm sorry. No way. Then we'll... I don't wanna... Kruz, you're a disappointment. You're a weakling, just like Abel was. Graham would be sad to see you like this. You've done something really foolish. But consider this a gift. You and these kids can join Abel and have a party. Stop. Don't kill anymore. You're pointing your gun at mere children? Unicornian children are still Unicornian. They'll grow up and try to overthrow the Empire someday. We might as well nip the buds before they blossom, along with a traitor that swore his allegiance to the Emperor. Time to say your prayers. Men, get ready. Aim. No. Fire. What? Huh? Why are we still alive? Did somebody save us? The Imperial soldiers are done for. But where did that gunfire come from? Looks like I made it just in the nick of time. Williot, are you hurt? Sis, you're alive. And those people. You made contact with Major Bart. Yes, I did, somehow. I heard gunfire on my way back to the village. I'm glad I came to check it out. But what are you doing in a place like this? Why'd you leave the village? And who's this Imperialist? I'm Kruz, an Imperial soldier. I was part of the group that attacked Treka village. I disobeyed order and ran. This man helped us. If Kruz and Abel weren't there for us, we'd... Hold on a sec. The village was attacked? Yeah, they killed everyone. They relentlessly killed Rick and Ellen from next door, as well as Grandpa and Mom. That can't be possible. Ricard and the others said they'd protect the village. Why? I killed the men in the group guarding the village with these hands. You were the one that killed Ricard? You killed all the villagers? Get on your knees and beg for mercy. You cold-blooded Imperial dog. How dare you? Our village. Olga, stop it. Kruz is a good guy. He helped us escape. No, you're wrong, Williot. The one that really saved you was Abel. I shot a Treka villager. I shot and killed someone that was afraid. Huh? It was an order. I was ordered to shoot and kill an unarmed Unicornian. If I had disobeyed, I'd be dead. I couldn't do what Abel did. Kruz, you... Your name is Olga? You have every right to kill me. Go ahead, do it. You don't have to tell me twice. I'll gladly send brutes like you to the depths of the abyss. Olga, don't. He's different. He's different from the other Imperial soldiers. Get out of the way, Williot. If you don't move... Stop it right there, Olga. Killing that man won't bring Ricard back. If you got Williot caught up in your anger and shot him too, you'd regret it for life. Major Bart. Williot and the other kids are tired. Go with them and let them rest. Yes, sir. Major Kruz is... I overheard you talking. I won't do him harm. Just leave him to me. Thank you, sir. Come on, sis, let's go. Kruz, is it? The Major saved you this time, but one day I'll put a bullet right through you. You got it. Keep that gun locked and loaded. Young man, you are really foolish. You could have just kept quiet about that villager you killed. I don't suppose you have a death wish. Do you want us to kill you after the kids were rescued? No. If I wanted to die, I would have done what Abel did. I'm not sure why I confessed. But don't get me mixed up with Abel. He was the one that truly saved Williot and the others. It would be a shame for me to claim the credit for his brave actions. So, it was in honor of your friend. Boy, you really are stupid. I think I understand now. We'll have you come with us to HQ. Once we take back Trekka Village, we'll have you fill us in on the details. We'll decide what to do with you after that. We may even have you executed. I won't resist. Do with me what you will. I do have one request, though. You'll find Abel in Trekka Village. Please take care of him for me. From what I heard, he's a real hero. We'll give him a proper burial. Thank you. Three years later. Wow, we're just jumping 3 years, huh? Wow. Why am I dreaming about that incident? You're finally awake. You're moving around quite a bit. You alright? Olga, don't walk in other people's tents without their permission. Oh, should I apologize? You fail as a soldier if you didn't notice me come in. I could have put a hole in your head if I felt like it. You should be glad I didn't. Did you come here just to tell me that? You must be really bored. Of course not. Major Bart and Lord Oswald need you at Freedom Base, pronto. Fine. I'm still a little shocked that we killed one of our major characters. Who, like I said, had a portrait, had a backstory. So weird. But good. I mean, I like this kind of melodrama in my RPGs. This is Audap. You've been watching Chrome Wolf running on Nintendo Switch. Yeah. Again, I mean, you have to have a preference for these Kemco games. You know, they're not going to run really good. You know, they're obviously not going to be top of the line. They're not going to be specifically built for the Switch or any of the systems that they get ported to. You know, these are originally mobile games. But what they lack in technology, you know, they do make up for in story. You know, characters and story and plot. I mean, all these Kemco published games are excellent. I really haven't run into a bummer one yet. Although some of the games I wasn't able to complete because they were just too difficult in the end game. But this one has a lot of promise. It's been a while since we played a Kemco game, so I'm anxious to jump into another one. And maybe even finish the other ones which we have on our backlog. But definitely check this out. This has a good feel to it. And thankfully it actually scrolls at 30 frames a second. It's not 60 unfortunately, but at least it's 30. And not the incredibly low frame rate that most of the games run at. So check it out. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed watching. I will see you at the next stream.